Hey guys, it's that male CNA back at it again. For this week's discussion, I wanted to focus on a very heart and very close to personal topic for me, and that is why I became a CNA in the first place. So back in 2013, I graduated from Valley Central, and then after that, I went to SUNY Orange Criminal Justice to pursue a degree in police sciences. Becoming a police officer just wasn't for me, as I've given you guys some information about that in a previous video called Get to Know Me. If you guys wanted to look at that one, you can. There's going to be a link in the description below, so you can go ahead and check that out. Now, becoming a CNA for me was a goal that I've wanted to accomplish for a while. It wasn't until I got with Jamie again, where she really had pushed me down that avenue, because I was letting outside influences guide me in certain directions, and I was pretty much tired of it at that point. So, I paid, or whatever it was, the $1,500 or so from an accredited course in New York, and I got my CNA certification, and it's a good step in the right direction for healthcare. I'm going to pursue my LPN, and after that my RN, and then we'll see where I go from there, but that's stuff that's years down the road. So, why did I become a CNA in the first place? As I just told you guys, it's a different way to help people. It's a way where you can help people who are trapped and stuck in situations that they can't help but be in. There's people who, inside these facilities, who haven't seen their families in years, people who haven't talked to anyone, or people who don't open up to anyone. I get quite familiar and very close to my residents, because it's their home and not yours, and that's the motto that I like to live by. You leave your problems at the door, and of course there will be days where you're understaffed, or work is just really tight, and you get busy, and you can't let that stress you out. Because being a CNA, everybody knows how stressful it is, how thankless it is, and how at the end of the day, most of the time, you're not appreciated by these people, because half of them are miserable to their cores, and the other half are needy, the other half are just, I want to say, unappreciative. There is quite a few people in these facilities who are incredibly thankful for you. Sometimes you see them more than their own family do, and you guys form incredibly close relationships. I try not to let myself get too attached, but there's just some residents you can't help but get that attached to. So, the current facility I work at is a 190-bed facility. I work on a float unit called Unit 2. We are, it's a mixture of long-term care and rehab patients. Half the unit's long-term care, and I work in that. That's where my background is, so that's where they stuck me. I work day shift 7 to 3, and that's just how it is. So, when I got my foot in the door at the facility in New Paltz, I had really began to form a cohesive relationship with all my team workers, all my co-workers, my residents, and that was when I realized I loved what I was doing. It was an excellent facility, but the pay wasn't where it needed to be, so I left and found a better job, and I am currently at that facility now. Now, where I work, there's 40 different residents on the floor. It's very fast paced, especially during the daytime, which is what I currently work. I was working 3 to 11. I work about 3 to 4 doubles every 2 weeks, so that means 2 doubles a week after 40 hours. So I'm working about 120 hours every 2 weeks. And as you guys know, my fellow CNAs out there, that's pretty much what it is for everybody nowadays, especially because facilities are struggling to keep employees, especially due to the whole coronavirus pandemic, yada yada yada. Even though in my opinion it's coming to an end, we do not have a single positive in the entire building, and they're somewhat stopping or not making a big deal out of the testing, but I still get mine done twice a week just in case, and it looks good too. So, being a CNA for me, there is 3 core values that I like to live by. 1 is leave your problems at the door. 2 is be stress-free or not. And 3 is live by ethics and treat others with respect and dignity. Because half of these people are total care dependents. They need help with perinatal care. They need help with transfers. They need help with brushing their teeth. They need help with their everyday life activities, or ADLs for short. Now, on the forefront of being a CNA, there's some times where, yeah, it's only going to be 2 of you for 40 residents, but that's just how it is. You give everybody the same amount of care that you would give a family member, because imagine it was your family member inside that situation. You'd want them cared with a dignity and respect. Now, being a CNA has really taught me a lot. A lot of my core values have changed. I see things with a wider spectrum. Now, the original goal, as I had told you, I'm sorry, I'm going on a little bit of a side thing here. Now, being a police officer, of course, is an excellent thing. Now, of course, I've seen the cops inside facilities because residents just go crazy and they want to call them, but that's besides the point. Now, being a cop for me it's not the calling. It was, in my opinion, too dangerous to do, especially if I wanted to raise a family. Being a CNA, I'm able to help others in a different type of way. So, what pushed me ultimately was the ability that I'm able to really do what I want, which is providing everyday life expectancy cares, perineal, brushing teeth, as I just said before. A lot of people don't realize that these people, when you walk in with a smile on your face, it could change their entire day. In the time that I've worked at this current facility, I've formed very close relationships with a few of the residents. And if they ask for me when I'm not there, and that tells you something, that you're influencing these people to a point where they become almost dependent on you, which is sometimes a good or a bad thing. I try and be as nice as I can, but to a certain point, I try not to let them, take advantage of the situation or, get one up on you, as I like to call it, because a lot of these people will see a new aide coming into a building and they're like, oh yeah, let's take advantage of this kid, get what we want from him. That's not how it goes. But especially if I've been doing this for almost a year and a half, I know that's new to a lot of people out there as a CNA, but that's just, topic for another day. So the ultimate reason becoming a CNA was really to help others in a different way. I knew it was a calling for me. It's an excellent way to get my foot in the door, and I really love and appreciate all my residents because they've definitely influenced me. They've opened my eyes to new ideals and new ways of thinking, and that is why being a CNA is the most thankless thing there is. It is literally rated as one of the most stressful jobs out there, most physically taxing. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm able to make my residents happy and they're clean, dry, cared for, that is all that matters to me. A paycheck is a paycheck. Of course, I've got to pay my bills too, but these people, they really do depend on people who are decent, caring, and nice. And at the end of the day, as long as I get a smile and a thank you from them, that's all I care about. That is the ultimate reason that I love my job. I really do. There's a lot of people out there who do the bare minimum just for their paycheck, and that's terrible because these residents deserve a lot more than that. They're paying your paycheck through their insurance, but that's a whole different story. So, to all my fellow CNAs out there, that there's a calling for this. If you can't handle it, don't do it. If you don't want to do your job, don't do it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't want to, but that is the reason why I became a CNA, was the calling for it. I'm able to help others in a different way. I appreciate you guys for tuning in this week, and there will be a video probably next Saturday as well, seeing as that I'm off then. Alright guys, there's that male CNA out.